Alright, I want to talk about the recent PBS space-time video by physics professor Matt O'Dowd on if information is the foundation of reality through quantum physics. And I want to compare Matt O'Dowd's analysis with the latest publication by quantum physics professor Basil J. Hiley. And the issue here is what Matt O'Dowd calls information. Basil J. Hiley calls the something more like consciousness. He calls it pre-space. As the formative cause of the quantum potential. So Matt O'Dowd is referring to Anton Zeilinger. Anton Zeilinger was one of the main researchers testing Bell's incompleteness theorem, and my own quantum mechanics professor Herbert J. Bernstein also collaborated with Anton Zeilinger on testing the Bell's incompleteness theorem. And we now know that the results of these experiments testing Bell's incompleteness theorem proved that Einstein was wrong, since Einstein could not believe in spooky action at a distance. And as quantum physics professor Olivier Costa de Beauregard points out, that infamous quote of Einstein about spooky action at a distance also includes Einstein's fear of telepathy, and that if spooky action at a distance is real, then telepathy is also real. And so quantum physics professor Jean Bremont is also a proponent of the Broglie-Bohm model of reality, similar to Professor Basil J. Hiley and Professor Broglie-Bohm points out that even Stephen Hawking did not understand the results of Bell's incompleteness inequality test. And what Broglie-Bohm is emphasizing is that quantum field theory has been disproven because of the Bell's inequality test. So this brings us back to Roger Penrose's point that only proto-consciousness can unify relativity with quantum physics. And so there is no symmetric rest frame as a spatial measurement in quantum physics due to the inherent one-half spin of the electron rest mass. So Basil J. Hiley's latest paper is emphasizing that the quantum potential is inherent to the rest mass based on the one-half spin, so that the Stern-Gerlach experiment, as an early prototype of Bell's inequality test, did not just prove that spin is non-local in quantum physics, but that spin is also non-local in relativity, and therefore, as Professor Jean Broglie-Bohm emphasizes, there is no rest frame, as is the assumption of relativity and the incorrect assumption of quantum field theory that defers to relativity. Therefore, Anton Zeilinger's reliance on information as a dualistic 1 and 0 construct by which the incompleteness theorem can be derived in quantum physics is actually the wrong assumption, because the non-commutivity, as Professor Basil Hiley emphasizes, is rather an algebraic process of energy, because since there is no rest frame, the algebraic measurement of both momentum and position occurs in pre-space, before space-time is created. So it occurs in just a pure energy, momentum derived from non-commutative time frequency, with the momentum directly proportional to the momentum or to the frequency, as de Broglie originally discovered. And so what Hiley is pointing out is that the actual topology of the block sphere contains a singularity within it that disproves the calculus as the foundation of reality, and therefore the 1/2 spin inherently has a non-commutative time frequency that is exposed by this singularity of the topology. And as Professor Hiley points out, this is demonstrated on the macro scale by the Dirac dance, also called the Dirac belt trick, that I learned in my first year of college from Professor Herbert J. Bernstein. And the Dirac dance is also modeled by music theory. And actually, the latest non-commutative lecture by Fields Medal math professor Alain Connes also corroborates the latest paper by Basil J. Hiley. The parallels are quite striking, and essentially Connes has proven the Riemann hypothesis of the distribution of the prime numbers based on the musical resonance of the harmonic series. And so the divergence of the ultraviolet catastrophe that led to the Planck constant as a probabilistic equal-tempered average energy of light is now proven by both Basil Hiley and Alain Connes to actually originate from a non-local, non-commutative, discrete algebraic process in a primordial time as the fifth dimension of inverse frequency energy. And this is why it is called proto-consciousness, and it's not an external measurement as a symmetric, dualistic information, as Matt O'Dowd is proposing through Anton Zeilinger. So this interwebs concept of the universe as just a information virtual computer holograph simulation has now been debunked by non-commutativity. As per Basil J. Hiley's latest paper and Alain Connes' latest YouTube lecture. So I will leave it at that. And now I can go to sleep. So thanks.